noloitering.github.io. We have sick pictures. Whoa, crazy slideshow. 3D models. What? This one's animated? CSGO skins? This dude's a gamer? And a freaking game. Huh? All this and more at noloitering.github.io. Built completely using HTML, CSS, and jQuery. So the site you just seen is actually an iteration of an older site I worked on, which you can view over here. Now, the main inspiration behind this site is a little known video game you might have heard of called Skyrim. Skyrim's UI consists of a series of dark opaque rectangles that slide out more dark opaque rectangles along with a 3D model of whatever you're viewing along to the side, which I tried to replicate within my own site. Now, Skyrim's UI got a bit of flack back in the day, and there are numerous mods to address these issues. But in my humble opinion, PC gamers are just a bunch of big whiners that'll never be happy unless their UI is a big boring box with a bunch of smaller boxes stuffed inside. Which is a bit of a hot take, but just saying, I was a fan of CSGO's radial menu. So here we have a side-by-side of the old site on the left versus the new site on the right. So one of the immediate changes you notice is that I've updated the profile picture because I no longer live in that apartment. I no longer have hair. I no longer live with that cat. But I have been doing stand-up comedy. So that's me at an open mic. That caption reads. And I might start uploading some of my stand-up, but we'll see. Just let me know in the comments if you're interested in that. But I've also updated the bio because the old one was a bit dated, Also, I added this little, I think they're called favicons for this site here. Versus here has no icon at all. And to do that, you have to add this line into the HTML file. But as you can see in the new site as well, I have links to all my social media. So you have my YouTube, my GitHub, my Twitter or X or whatever it is now, thanks to Elon, and my Facebook, which is actually for my photography. It's like a separate photography page I have. And you also notice that this site doesn't have these links here that I've provided, which correspond with these headers up here. So, I have my latest photography set, my latest 3D model, and then the most popular ones. And at the very bottom here, I have this fan favorite section dedicated to my friend who told me while I was working on my CSGO skins, he told me, I know your mahogany skin has the most views and likes, but I actually really like the rosewood, I really fuck with it. So I decided I'd dedicate this little section here to that. But my old site had one huge glaring issue, and that's because it used a separate mobile site. You see, what's all the rage these days are what people call responsive websites. And these are sites that will adjust themselves to look good on any resolution screen. Gone are the days of having separate mobile sites redirect you when you load the page automatically. And what's in is learning how to organize your data so that it looks neat on any device. But that was absolutely not an option for me because I simply had to have these little arrow things on my navigation bar. So here they are on the sides here. And when you hover one of them, it'll begin scrolling through all the different options progressively faster and faster until you hover off, in which case it will begin to slow down until it eventually stops and snaps to the nearest option, in this case games. Kind of like a CSGO case opening, when you spin the wheel or whatever, kind of where I got the idea from. And I also added this additional functionality where you can click the arrow and it'll just snap to the option on the left or the right.
depending, of course, on which arrow you click on. But obviously, this wouldn't work on mobile devices because how do you hover it? You know, so I had to design a completely separate mobile site, which you can see here. You know, I laid out some of the stuff differently as well, but yeah. Another problem with the arrows is that it was too easy to like accidentally hover over them when you're trying to just change your tab or whatever, and it would like shift you around and mess you up. So in the new site, they had to go. They just had to go. And in their place, I have this like sticky navigation bar instead. So if you're scrolling through and none of this looks interesting to you, you can just view the entirety of the page. Oh yeah, and by the way I had those arrows set up is that I used anchors instead of actual HTML pages. So the entirety of the site, including all of these screenshots, had to load when you opened the site. Versus now, I have it separated so that the load times would be quicker. You know, you only load what you need. And the biggest update to the site is the game itself. So I made this game as like a little project a while ago called Shape Wars. And before it was a link you'd have to click on to open up. But I got it working in the browser, which is pretty cool. I also fixed some bugs. So I'll just give it a little play. So you are the triangle with the white outline, and you're trying to destroy the shapes with the red outline. And you can only shoot so fast unless... Here. Okay, I hit something. But if you don't hit anything, it takes a longer time to shoot. There's like a little timer. But that timer resets if you hit something. You can also right-click to leave bombs behind that will blow up after a certain amount of time. But how I decided to balance that is that... Okay, get rid of that guy. He's suffering over there. How I balance that is that you don't get as many points. See, because when you shoot something, you get points for blowing it up. And then you can get more points for shooting the little tiny debris. And the debris is actually worth double. So it's really worth your time. What you can do, though, which is a high skill move that I like to have, you can try to predict where that's going to be and then blow it up. There you go. And get most of the debris with the explosion itself. And you also have a dash attack that you hit space to use. Oh, and I also added a full screen. You hit F and you can go full screen. Right? Not bad. Not bad at all. And you just work on getting the highest score as possible. You know, I think it would... See, you get... It tells you if you got a new high score. And also, what's fun is if you lose, it will insult you. Yeah, out of like a random set of phrases. So that one was get good. And this one is an encouraging phrase, you know, because it couldn't all be negative. I did some encouraging ones as well. When I'm playing this game, it honestly aggravates me and motivates me, like the little message actually motivates me to keep playing longer than I should be. So I thought that was pretty neat. Obviously, I plan on adding more games as I'm working on a game engine. I've just been like, I've been honestly spreading myself pretty thin these past, well, 2024. But I do plan on getting back to the game engine stuff. And updating these and adding more games. And just having a golly good time with it, you know? And I really need to fix that bug because that's happened like a million times this recording. And I thought I had it fixed, but apparently it still happens on the top. But I swear you won't catch it happening on the sides or the bottom. They won't get stuck on the sides or the bottom. They only get stuck on the top. So I need to fix that code there. But yeah, if you guys want to check out the site yourself, it is noloitering.github.io. as I said, my grandma could do better. Or if you want to check out the old site for whatever reason, that one is Eric Barrett with 2 R's and 2 T's .github.io. So they're both hosted using GitHub, which is super convenient. So if you guys liked the video, make sure to give it a like. If you want to know more about the site, maybe like how I went into the code and stuff, you can leave a comment below, let me know. And if you're interested in see what's next, you know, what I'm working on, make sure to subscribe. I also plan on doing some variety content, so there should be something there for everyone. So thank you for watching.